All right. Oop. Okay. How y'all doing today?
Good. How are you?
Okay. So, good evening, everyone. Yeah, finals I know just started. It's been a really hectic week. But so you have two packets on your table, and just I mean, if I walked in here and I just saw, I'm like, what is this? But the first one has the agenda and like the meeting minutes. So I just put it so you can see it's basically the structure for how meetings are gonna go, just so you can kind of get an idea on how that's gonna go. And the other one is the Senate Survival Guide. Uh, it just has like tips, the vision of the Senate, the expectations. There's a calendar, so for next semester, hey, so we can have all the dates on there. It has all the dates on there, and then directories for different offices to contact. But back to the agenda. So yeah, that's essentially the format for how our Senate meetings are going to go. And so for those that just came, there's like two packets on your table. One's the agenda and the other's the survival guide. We only need the agenda for this meeting. That's essentially just because we need to also vote to approve the agenda, and then it has the structure, just how the Senate meetings are going to look. Because I know it's our first time. And then, so does anyone have any questions? Okay, so before I call the meeting to order, can everyone just introduce themselves and just say a fun fact about each other? You can start with you.
Hi, my name is Jada Owens. I'm from Huntsville, Alabama. I'm a pre-med psychology major. And a fun fact about me is I'm a Kayla Jarvis. I am a freshman this year. I'm from Houston, Texas. Political science. Fun fact, I'm left-handed.
Hello, my name is Adrian Egwin II. I'm from Montgomery, Alabama. I am a sophomore and a chemistry pre-medicine major. And a fun fact about me is I love to write.
Introduction. Hello, my name is Asian Nathan II from Montgomery, Alabama, chemistry pre-medicine major, class of 2023. And I like running and I do two sports at Xavier.
I can just do myself. Hi.
Bro, you can go next.
All right, what's up, y'all? So my name is Rowan Reagan. I'm from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I'm a second year pharmacy student. Fun fact about me is I was born left-handed, but now right.
Okay, Bree.
Hello, everyone. My name is Brianna Simmons, and I'm from New Orleans, Louisiana. I'm a chemistry major, sales and marketing minor. And a fun fact about me is I like to draw in my spare time.
Yeah.
Hello, my name is Amara Chike. I'm from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, junior. biology pre-med major. Fun fact about me. I used to have a dog when I was younger.
Hey everybody, I'm Daniel Webster. I'm a neuroscience major. I'm a current freshman. A fun fact about me is I was born left-handed and I'm still left-handed, so yeah.
Hi everyone, my name is Monet Calhoun. I am a junior English major with double minors in creative writing and biology. I'm from Houston, Texas. My fun fact is I have a dog named Beamer. He's really cute.
Hello everyone, my name is Chinyere Obio. Louisiana. I'm a junior biology pre-med major. And a fun fact about me is Igbo is my first language.
Good afternoon. My name is Winston Bryant. I am from Atlanta, Georgia. I am a second-year pharmacy student. And a fun fact about me is I already have my degree in chemistry with a minor in biology.
So good evening. My name is Curtis Rutten, the Vice President of Student Affairs. And a fun fact about me is that I've not had meat since 1993. And I have been vegan since September. However, last night I ate pizza with real cheese and it was delicious.
Kayla James, I see you on there. If you don't mind, can you introduce yourself and just state a fun fact about you?
Of course. Oh, wait, can you guys hear me? I think so. Okay. Okay, hi. Kayla James. I'm a sophomore public health pre-med major. And a fun fact about me is my mom's Jamaican and my father's from Delaware.
Well, yeah, and it's really nice to meet each and every one of you. I know we spoke over the phone on FaceTime, but it's nice to see everyone in person masked up. And yeah, so essentially this meetings we're going to cover legislation. We're going to cover when for next semester when organizations come to request funds. And yeah, I'm hoping it's going to be a fun time. We're also going to have events and programs, Senate specific events. So I know for next semester, we're planning to have a Senate dinner just with us. So just kind of like a team bonding activity, but just I want it to be a space where everyone can express themselves and feels comfortable. And so now I'm going to call the meeting to order at 6:15 p.m. And Monet, if you don't mind, can you call the quorum?
Okay, I will be calling by last name. You gone? James?
Present.
Present. Webster?
Present.
Obioha, I'm here.
Oh, say it again.
Obioha.
Obioha. Okay, thank you. Yeah, absent. Bryant?
Here.
Simmons? Johnson? Jarvis? Present. Owens? Reagan? Cheek? Chike? Thornton?
Present.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. And so we're going to move on to the next thing on the agenda. So can I get a motion to approve the agenda for today's meeting? And for this, and whichever senator can just start with saying, I, Senator, your name, motion to approve the agenda. And can I get a senator to second the motion?
Senator Thornton seconds the motion.
And so moved, it's approved. Okay, so we're gonna have an icebreaker, and Monet is gonna be the one to lead the icebreaker.
Okay, for our icebreaker, I want everyone to say what was their favorite animal as a little kid and why. So I'll start. Animal was a giraffe because I thought they looked cool. You got one?
My favorite animal was a dolphin. Really because I just like water and I really wanted to be a mermaid when I was younger. So yeah.
My favorite animal was a penguin. I don't know why. I just thought they were a funny creature. So yeah.
Grew up on a farm, so my favorite animal was a pig because it was my job to feed them, and I did not. But they were really smart animals. So.
For me, my favorite animal is an elephant, especially just mostly because it's so big, but it's so quiet when it walks. But yeah.
My favorite animal was a monkey because I'll eat anything banana flavored.
My favorite animal growing up was a puppy because I didn't have one for the longest time until I finally got one.
My favorite animal was a cheetah because cheetahs are fast and I wanted to be fast. So I like cheetahs.
My favorite animal was a turtle because I like the underwater seas and how to, carry their home on their back. And I always wanted to be at home. So yeah.
My favorite animal is a dog because literally dogs are like man's best friend and they so loyal and lovable and they always gonna stick with you to the end. So yeah.
My favorite animal was a squirrel because I guess they're just really tiny and they can move very fast.
My favorite animal was a lion. I love their mane and the way they wore.
Okay, thank you. Fascinating. Emmanuel, would you like to tell us your favorite animal?
My favorite animal. My favorite animal, I mean, I think it's a dog. I really like dogs. I like the loyalty, right? They can be cute, but also ferocious. So if you want to be disrespectful, I like dogs. Yeah.
Okay, and so just a note, I know it's our first time going forward. Oh, Kayla, I'm so sorry. Hey, Kayla, you can go next. Kayla. Okay. All right. And so, yeah, like I was saying, those are very fascinating animals. Never heard anyone say their favorite animal was a pig, but that's really nice. And a mermaid. At home, they would be like, Mami wata. So that's really interesting. But okay. And so now we're going to, I know on Saturday, I sent out emails for the committee assignments and the committee chairs. And so we're just going to be announcing that today, just so, the student body can know. And also going forward, when we're referring to each other, so Senator by the last name, so Senator Chike, Senator Owens, Senator Jarvis, and so forth. And okay, so for our committee chair on academic affairs, that is Senator Chike. You get a clap. Our committee chair on diversity and inclusion is Senator Obioha. Our committee chair on health, safety, and sustainability is Senator Owens. And our committee chair on finance is Senator Brianna Simmons. And so the committee chairs are essentially in charge of making sure that, the committees are focused on their specific responsibilities, right? So, and it's just so we can make sure that the Senate functions better and there's, there's a structure in the Senate. And so also the committee members, people are assigned to their committees. So if you don't mind, can we just accept the committee chairs? Can you go in this way? Just state the committee you were assigned to. And so my name is Senator Blah, and I was assigned to which committee?
Okay, hey you guys again. I am Senator Jarvis, and I was assigned to the Health, Safety, and Sustainability Committee.
Hello, my name is Senator Thornton, and I was assigned to the Health, Safety, and Sustainability Committee with Senator Jarvis and Senator Owens.
I'm Senator Webster, and I was assigned to diversity and inclusion.
My name is Senator Bryant, and I was assigned to finance.
Okay, so thank you so much. And so we're gonna move on to our action items. And so we're gonna start with Mr. Wright, Vice President of Student Affairs, just a quick introduction. And, I'm sure the new senators are wondering why he's here. So he's just gonna touch on that. So it's right.
Well, thank you. So I serve as the advisor for the Senate. So within the structure of SGA, we have a team of staff members who are supporting the function of the organization. It is administratively placed because of the significance and the importance of the work that you do. So along with myself, Dean Keller advises the executive board. She works very closely with Emmanuel. Ms. Sierra works very closely with IOC, and Ms. Franklin and Ms. Sierra work very closely with the treasurer to make sure that the budget is reconciled appropriately. So collectively, our goal is to make sure that the work that you do is supported in a timely space, but we believe as an institution that the work of the Senate is of utmost importance, and for that reason, I spend time specifically with the Senate, because as the legislative arm of the student body, your job is to help inform not only student policy, but institutional policy. So my goal is to make sure that you all have a voice at the table, whether it's through President Yukat or your Vice President Muna Uga. I lived in New York, I had lots of Nigerian friends. But I think it's important that you understand the significance of the role that you're playing. And I'm excited about what we can do together and what you're going to be able to do to help change the fabric of who we are and what we are at Xavier. Are there questions about my role or what our expectations are of each other?
Thank you very much, Mr. Wright. And so we'll be moving on to the next thing on the agenda. But before we move on, the Senate Survival Guide, I just want us to take a look at that. And so the Senate Survival Guide is really just a document, a brief document, just to give us, an idea of, the vision of the Senate, the responsibility, the expectations that we have for the Senate and for ourselves, so we can keep each other accountable. And I'm just going to share that 1 second on the screen over here. Just give me 1 second. And so for this school year, the vision for the Senate is essentially not just to write legislation, right? That's going to be impactful to SGA and the student life in general, but also, so we can find, because, this is a semester that we had COVID-19 this past school year. Students are expectant for what's going to happen next semester. They want to see something different, whether it's in terms of, the Senate advocating for them through legislation, whether it's on academic policies or it's on, passing a resolution for SGA to have more events, because, you know, those are things that students have expressed their concerns on, or things like, you know, organizations on campus that require funding. And so it's really more than just legislation. We're really here to be like strict and not strict, my bad, fierce advocates for the student body. So we're here to make sure that we're representing them through legislation. We're advocating for them in spaces, whatever spaces we might find ourselves. So with the Health, Safety, and Sustainability Committee, you know, we have an SGA director of health and safety. So making those meaningful connections, and even, you know, making connections within different offices. So Office of the Dean, the Office of Academic Affairs. So it's like Mr. Wright said, it's really an important and such a massive role that we have here that has such a large impact on the students and can have a large impact on the student body. And so the committees we'll be having for this year are the Health, Safety, and Sustainability, Diversity and Inclusion, Academic Affairs, and the Finance Committee. And just these committees, you know, they're going to focus on different aspects of legislation. But as a senator who's in, let's say, academic affairs, it doesn't, because you're in academic affairs, doesn't mean if you see an issue that relates to diversity and inclusion, you can't bring it up. But what it means is you can work with the senators in the Diversity and Inclusion Committee to see how you can address those issues. Like Senator Simmons over here last semester, during the last Senate session, worked with the Senate to create a commuter student meal plan. So that wasn't specifically legislation, right? Like there wasn't a document typed up, but it was, you know, going to the right offices, making those right connections to create that for commuter students. And so it's really important that we remember this, and of course, look at the document after the meeting. And so now we're gonna move on to the President's Special Report by President Upat.
Good evening, everybody. How are you? Good. That's good. I'm doing well too. Good to see y'all. So yeah, I'm excited that y'all are here. I'm only here this time because it's the first one. And that's when I'm supposed to come in and be like, hey. Yeah. Hi. I get to see y'all. I'm very glad that we have a full Senate this year. It's going to be exciting. I really do want y'all to know to play a very important role in this, like I said, in what we do. We've really recrafted the way the Senate used to work and how it works now. Legislation is important. And you look at the piece of paper, but that piece of paper travels from this room to administrators and faculty. And everything we do, everything that's documented can change what we do and processes. And it takes you advocating on behalf of your class, or if you're coming to a large student body, or if you're in pharmacy, in the Pharmacy Student Association, to make sure that all voices are heard at the table. Every position you have in SGA is very crucial. And next year, we're going to keep on elevating. But it takes every single one of us to do it. And so when you see a problem, you're no longer just part of the conversation. Now you can steer the conversation. Right? For your committees, now you can find different ways of doing things. And so the finance committee is going to be crucial this year as well, because every student organization, all 100+ student organizations, come to the Senate for money. Y'all want to look at how much those organizations get. It's going to be crucial for the finance committee to decide what that happens, how that happens, crafting legislation, crafting an appropriation bill. And so those small things that you think, this is going to help us out. But that's what allows us to have an event on time. That's what allows us to practice for students and have another help. And so you'll be seeing a lot of stuff coming out next year. This is the first one. Next year, especially with the cabinet in our office, we have directors that work very closely in the same areas we work in. So I really hope to see you all do a great job. And of course, I'm always here as a resource.
Thank you so much, President Ugat. And so if y'all don't mind pulling up the Google Drive, we're gonna move on to the next thing. Before that, I'd like to announce, so we have the appointment of the Senate President pro tempore. And for the 2021-2022 school year, our president pro tempore would be Adrian Thornton. And so essentially, the Senate president pro tempore is essentially my vice, right? So in the absence of the SJ vice president, this person is supposed to be able to take over the Senate to make sure that the Senate is running smoothly. It's also a resource for, the senators, because I might not always be there because me being part of the executive board. So it's also a resource in case, because we'll be on the same page. And so in case, you have any questions, if it's specific to your committees, and, you see an issue on campus and you're just like, hey, so what do you think? How can we solve this issue? Because you might not know, we all don't know. Our job is to find out how to get it done, right? Our job is to, after we find out, to get it done. But so that's also one of the responsibilities of the president pro tempore. And now moving on to the next thing on the agenda, we're okay. Can you all open the Google Drive? I'm about to share it with you, Mr. Wright. And it's gonna be on proposed legislation. And so essentially what we have here is an amendment to the Senate Bill 77.4, the Constitutional Freeze Act. So the Constitutional Freeze Act was created and passed by the previous Senate. And essentially, you can also read it on there, but essentially the Constitutional Freeze Act puts a hold on the Constitution where no major changes can be made on the Constitution until after an administration for a year. And so the amendment we're doing today is just to change that, the clause of a year to a semester. And the reason being because having it for a year doesn't give the incoming administration or the incoming Senate specifically chances to, amend the Constitution. But if we have it for a semester, so when the incoming Senate comes in, can take a look at, how things are running and see, okay, after a semester, how does this work? So it can have time to be implemented and see if they want to make any amendments or any additions or removals for the spring semester. And so that's essentially the whole idea of the Constitutional Freeze Act. And the authors are myself, Vice President Ugo, the Senate President pro tempore, Adrian Thornton, and our Senator Owens over here. And so this is where we have, open discussion. If you have any questions while you read it, any suggestions, we can make amendments before we take it to the floor for a vote. And so the first reading, so amendment to Senate Bill 77.4, the Constitutional Freeze Act. Whereas the Student Government Association is bound by the Constitution and the rules and procedures established in each administration, whereas there's a need to allow every new administration the opportunity to make changes that are vital to the success of the Student Government Association, whereas a period of implementation allows members of the Student Government Association to accurately reflect on the efficacy of new policies, whereas this policy was restored through the Constitutional Freeze Act, but needs revision due to its restrictiveness on new administrations and senates. Therefore, be it enacted by the Student Senate of the Student Government Association at Xavier University of Louisiana, the Senate shall amend the Senate Bill 77.4 as follows. All clauses that mention the phrase one academic year will be struck and replaced with the phrase one academic semester. Be it further enacted, this amended bill, Senate Bill 77.5, supersedes Senate Bill 77.4 and should be regarded as the most recent bill. Be it further enacted, the following changes should be made to this clause. And the changes are: be it further enacted, no revisions, major or minor, may be implemented within the same semester, as there must be communication and preparation for dissemination. So this is from the past Senate bill, right? This particular thing, and the above clause will now read the following: be it further enacted, minor revisions may be motioned and considered on the Senate floor and forwarded to the SGA president for action. And for major changes with intent to implement immediately and bypass one semester policy, the senators must first communicate to the SGA vice president for consideration. And after it's added to the agenda, the senators may go through the legislative process and pass legislation, must then be forwarded to the SGA president for action. Within the amendment, there must be an explicit reasoning as to the urgency of the revision. And be it further enacted, the full revised bill will now read as follows. And so the bill below is what will stand, is that's the revised bill. And so I'm gonna give all the senators here about 5 minutes to take a look. So if you have any questions, we can go from there before we take it to the floor for a vote. And if anyone has any questions. And so I'm going to open the floor now to any questions that we may have or any proposals or changes before we take it for a vote. Absolutely.
So I had a question about the verbiage when it talks about minor and major. So who's going to determine like what actually is a minor revision or what is a major revision?
Okay, so we can put that on there, but for minor changes, that's changes based on grammatical errors or spelling errors. And major is changing the context. But we can, if you want to motion for us to include that to be more specific, we can definitely do that.
Yeah, I think that would be better just to clarify so that in case somebody would like try to change it and consider it minor instead of actually it being a major revision.
Absolutely.
order for like a major change to occur, are you saying that like you would have to be approved from both the vice president, and the student body together?
Okay, I'm sorry, could you repeat that?
So like, in order for, I guess it's saying that you have to go through the vice president, since you said you, I guess, change in the major or minor, I guess I'm.
Okay, so that's only, so the Freeze Act freezes any changes to the Constitution. If we, right now, it's for a year, but if we amend it, it's for a semester. And that clause is if in that semester, we still, as senators feel like they want to make a change. So that's like a special resolution. Just, so with the Freeze Act, so if we pass it and it's for one semester. But if the senators feel within that semester, they don't want to wait for that one semester, that they want to make a change which goes against the Constitutional Freeze Act, that's when they need to go through that process. But if it's the regular Freeze Act period, once the one semester is over, the senators can on their own author those changes and it'll be brought to the floor for a vote. Does that answer your question?
Yeah. So like, what would be the specifically, so like, say there's something that you like really, you need to.
So let's say, okay, so let's say hypothetically, so a special change would be something that's restricting SGA from carrying out its responsibilities. So let's say in the future, there's a clause in the Constitution that says SGA will not be allowed to, just an example, have in-person events because of COVID, but then COVID is over now, but in the Constitution it says we can't have in-person events. And then we can't wait for one semester to have in-person events. And so that's when the senators decide, okay, well, this is a special change that needs to be made because, you know, this no longer stands. And just like I know with the past Senate, when they amended the Constitution, because it was outdated. So in case things are no longer in time, they're no longer valid at this point in time where maybe policies have changed, Xavier policies have changed with certain procedures. And so we can't wait for a whole semester versus if we're changing, let's say we want to create a new executive branch, that can wait a semester. But if we're creating not a new department in the executive branch or things that are yeah, let me not complicate it.
I was just saying like, in those special cases, that's when you would like, properly what you do.
Yes.
Then you have to get it ratified by the student body. Is
Yeah.
it like a quicker change before the semester ends?
Yes, because essentially any change normally to the Constitution has to go through the student body and the president. Any normal or major or minor change, not the minor changes don't have to go for ratifications by the student body. Or major changes, the student body has to vote on that. And so like let's say changing the GPA requirement to be an SGA, that's something that the student body has to vote on. And so that's a standard thing. And then for this one specifically, it's just the process for the other ones, except for a normal constitutional amendment, the senators, if it's the normal time frame, they bring it to the floor and the Senate votes on it because the vice president is not a voting member on the Senate. And so that's what the Senate wants, and it goes to the president for a veto or for approval. And after that goes to the student body for a vote, a referendum. And once that's voted on by a majority of the student body, it's enacted into law. You're welcome. And so just to, Senate Clerk Monet, can you put in the notes to make an amendment to, so I want us to amend what Senator Jarvis addressed, defining this specifically what a major or a minor change is, just for clarity purposes. All right, and so I'm going to highlight that. And can we look at that and Senator, ooh, that's a very weird color. And so I changed that to major changes are hereby defined, that's spelled wrong, as any change that alters the specific language and content of the Constitution. Does that provide more clarity to your concerns, Senator Jarvis?
Yes, that does.
Okay, so do we have any questions before we take it for a vote on the floor? Okay, 1 second. Wait, stop sharing. Okay, and so now I would like to propose the bill to go on the floor for a vote. And it'll be a simple majority vote because we have quorum over here. And so for those in support of the bill, would you please just raise your hands and the Senate clerk will register that?
What's the question?
We're voting to approve the amendment.
So you want to put it to the floor, so you're going to say something to the effect of, so now we're going to ask for a vote for the Senate bill, whatever you titled it, with their friendly amendment from Senator Jarvis, all in favor.
Okay. Can you say that again?
Call the question on the Senate bill, you title whatever the title is,
77.5.
with friendly amendment from Senator Jarvis,
Okay.
and all in favor.
Okay. Okay, so I'm calling the question for a vote on the Senate Bill 77.5 with a friendly amendment from Senator Jarvis. And will all in favor, please raise your hands. And all who oppose, please raise your hand. Any abstentions? Yes. So Senator Kayla James, she's still on there. Can you please put in the chat box whether you're in favor or not of the bill, of the Senate Bill 77.5? In favor. And we have Senator Olutoye Jegede in abstention. Yeah. And we have Senator Alexandria Johnson in absent. And the ayes have it, or the yes has it. And so the Senate action has approved the Senate Bill 77.5 on the amendment to Senate Bill 77.4, the Constitutional Freeze Act. And the bill will be passed on to President Yucott for approval or for veto and communicated duly with the Senate. Okay, and so the Senate code, that's available on the Google Drive. We're not going to go into that today. Essentially, the Senate code, Vice President Wright and myself have looked at it, and it's essentially a description of the specific committees in the Senate and their responsibilities. And I know when each of you got your committee assignments for the committee chairs, you were informed that we're having something new, which is the Senate leadership team, which comprises of the Senate committee chairs, the Senate President pro tempore, and the Vice President the SGA vice president. And so that the Senate code essentially just documents, is a document that is a really good resource as a senator, because it also talks about legislation, how to, if you see a change that you want to address, how you can do that through whether it's a resolution that needs to be done or if it's a bill that needs to go through that. And I definitely urge you all to look at the after this meeting, the Senate code. But the one thing I just wanted to highlight is the Senate attendance policy. And so, you know, and during my transition to for the transition meetings I had before I was inaugurated as the SGA vice president, I met with the previous senators, and I know something they expressed is, you know, attendance policies, which I'm sure Senator Simmons can attest to, where, you know, we were in meeting because we have to meet quorum, and quorum is a majority. So if we have 12 senators, we need 7 senators present. And I understand it's a really tasking job, but essentially we need to have our Senate attendance. And I'm willing to, if you want to talk about how to make the meetings more fun and more engaging with the senators, just so we can make sure that we all feel comfortable to come to this space. And just to emphasize, it's 2 Senate meetings. You can only miss a maximum of 2 Senate meetings and 1 proxy. So 3 Senate meetings, but the third one, you have to have a proxy present. And a proxy is just a student representative that you pick and inform the Senate clerk. And if you miss any meetings, the only exceptions to those 2 is emergencies, just like Xavier's policies with classes. So let's say a family death or like a serious life-threatening emergency, those are the exceptions. And you have to inform the SGA Senate clerk 24 hours before, and myself, or the president pro tempore 24 hours before, just so we can, you know, be prepared and, you know, be aware that you will not be present in the meeting. And I know I mentioned earlier that we're going to, for the fall, if y'all after this meeting can text me your estimated return dates, because the plan is to have a Senate dinner just so we can socialize with one another. And then afterwards, maybe it's a weekend, go for like laser tag or something. And so just so I have an idea on when everyone returns on campus, so we can, for the logistics and planning of that, work towards that. And so do we have any comments? So this is the next agenda, public comments. So if anyone has anything they want to say that wasn't mentioned, put on the agenda, you can bring that on out. Yes. Pardon? Yeah, and those dates are tentative, but they usually are not going to change too drastically. And so that's just so you know, at the beginning of the semester, you can, thank you, Senator Clerk, so you can be prepared and, you know, put it in our calendars and make sure that we don't have any, as long as it's not classes, but anything conflicting with that schedule. Any other public comments?
Historically, those dates have been in tandem with the academic affairs, academic dean's meetings, such that there weren't classes at the same time, so students who want to participate wouldn't say have class. So that's why we worked in tandem with academic affairs to put it on the same time. So there's almost a common hour.
Okay, and I just want to say a big thank you to all of you, because this was really, you know, impromptu. Immediately after all the senators here were sworn in and inaugurated on the Globe Ball, you know, we had a meeting on Monday, and I just want to applaud all of you and thank you all so much for coming here and being a part of the process so we can address issues. So next semester, things can go smoother and faster. And I know this was, you know, a first draft. It wasn't perfect, but during the summer, we're working to see how we can, you know, whether it's a retreat or it's virtual or in person, maybe it's during close to the beginning, so we can properly get Senate training, so we know specifically, so we're not, you know, unaware or uninformed on the specific procedures and how things work, so we can be better informed for the Senate meetings. And again, thank you so much for everyone who attended. I really do appreciate it. And And so now, no other comments? All right, and I would like to get a motion to adjourn the meeting. Thank you. And so the meeting is adjourned at 6:58 p.m. Thank you so much.